All righty, I'm live. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Uh-oh. Need to move my phone. All righty. Good morning, everybody. Let me put that in there. Good morning. Body beat down this worm. Thank you. Popped in here. Getting ready for a little breakfast chat. Let me get this ain't just right. A little bit more to the table. There we go. All righty. Hello. Thanks. You gonna come and say hi to your fans? Right? You gonna come and say hi to your fans? Oh, I know. Oh yeah. It's the one. It's the only. Yep, I caught a summertime cold. We went out Saturday night. And it's been like 80, 90 degrees here all week. I got down in the upper 40s and I still just had a t-shirt. So Sunday morning, my sinuses were going to town. Good morning, 10 Mile Prepper. Thanks for stopping in. And by middle afternoon, my nose was trying to run to the next county. So I've been kind of doing, hey, Bank, say hi to everybody. Hey, hi, Kitty Power. Good morning, Randy. So Banks has been staying up the deck longer and meowing even louder to get into the house. Yep. So the star of the show. Okay. It's time to go. Oh, I managed to get me a summertime cold. So I got home last night from work about 9 o'clock. And I've been about every 3 hours I've been taking zinc. I've been taking vitamin C. Cabbage soup and bacon for breakfast. All right, I know you've been making a lot of that cabbage soup. So here's a piece of bread you never eat. So I always toss it out for the birds. Waste not, want not. Little Miss Prepper, good morning. All right. So today, I'm going to make something I hadn't made in a while. Corned beef hash. So these are part of my preps. And this one is best by date, expiration date. Best by date is December 2022. So still within the date. But first of all, I'm going to start with my base. And my favorite base is bacon. So I haven't pet the kitty, so I'm going to wash my hands. And I think I might even be a little bit allergic to cat fur, but I'll put up with it. Currently, I do not take anything for allergies, although I may break down and buy some Allegra, but not until I get over the summer cold. So one thing when you have summer colds or sinus issues, that the allergy medicine can actually make it worse for you. I like a cabbage sandwich, white cabbage. Oh, cool. Yep, I had the eggs for the egg to put on top. Now, this Scottish Fitness doesn't like anything different. So generally, the Mary Kitchens is what she wants to eat. But these are on sale. I like them. So what I do is I cook it when it's just going to be me. And then if it's going to be the missus and I, then I cook up the Mary Kitchen. So, Benyor Jr., welcome. Just watch your bench video. Awesome stuff. Thank you. Appreciate it. Remember to hit the thumbs up. Help that algorithm, whatever they want to call it. So the first thing I'll start is with bacon. Your bacon's bad for you. I don't care. All right, animal fats that cook in are better than vegetable oils. Not that either of them are good for you, but it is better than your vegetable seed oil. So basically, I cook enough to get amount of grease to cook with. I'm also going to be cooking in a green pepper into it. I have part of an onion too that I probably should use up. So when I got that cooking, that's usually when I chop up my vegetables. So Friday I had a really good bench day. I'm going to move my bench day from today to tomorrow. To give me, it's not so much the fat as the sulfites. Bad for the colon, especially if you don't drink enough plain water. Well, fortunately for me, I drink a lot of water. Where I work, it's a lot of furnaces, so it's very hot. And I probably have 20 ounces of water every hour. So if I work an 8-hour day, I'll have 8 of those down before I come home. So I am drinking a lot of water. I take a 20 ounce up to bed, and I'll drink that during the night. But I heard drinking a lot of water before you go to sleep is healthy for you and can prevent heart attack or strokes. I put corn in the second batch. I like corn. Corn. You ever watched the movie Secondhand Lions? Not a big blockbuster one, but it's one that the wife and I find enjoyable. There's a saying there, corn. And I love sweet corn, but there was a certain vitamin that you need to take more if you ate a lot of sweet corn, which I didn't know. Does anybody remember which one that was? To be honest with you, I don't. I'd have to go to my notes. But there was a vitamin that you have to take more of if you eat a lot of corn. Oh, I'm also writing a new song. And if you misbehave, I may actually have you hear it sometime. Was it one of the B vitamins? Let me refer to my notes. This is the song I wrote. And I'm telling you right now, it's really bad. Okay, what do we got going on here? That looks like a D3s. You might be right. You want to grab it, you might. Well, there's all the vitamins in that book. believe you're right. I believe it is vitamin B's. So, but I'm still gonna eat my sweet corn. So if you caught my video on the Okie Khan, good morning. If you caught in my video on the MacBean farms and prepping, the corn has come up. The sunflowers have come up. I have 10 whole bean plants coming up out of that row. Now what I'll do is I'll give it another week for the other ones to spawn because of all the rain we got. Thanks, Randy, we needed it. And then if I have areas where nothing's growing, I'll just retill it and then I'll replant beans in there. Because I did a seed every 8 inches or so. Sometimes the seed's not going to generate. A lot of times you do 2 or 3, but then I have all 2 or 3 do it. In the buckets out front, I did thin out the tomatoes. So I pulled about out of that bucket that's full of tomato plants, I pulled about 10 of them out. Then I'll let the other ones get larger. I got my first potato popping through the soil. So I'm kind of excited about that. Once we know the seed potatoes were good. And none of the big plants out there have sprouted yet, but I think they will by the end of the week because of the rain. So I've got pumpkin, zucchini, acorn squash, cucumber. I think I put a yellow squash in. Then I'll probably do 1 more row of those. And then probably another row of corn and another row of mixed veggies. And then I'll probably have a pretty full garden. I still got 2 grow bags to cook or to fill up. One will be with the last seed potato I have. And then the other one will be for one of the big plants. So I'm thinking about putting zucchini or a pumpkin in one of them. Just to see how they do. Because they're on tarp, so it can grow all amongst everything and I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to plant more taters this week so they are staggered. There you go. I don't know if they stagger. I think potatoes grow until the season gets to a certain point where it gets cold enough or less sun, and then the plant is time to harvest. But I am staggering the corn. So the first row of corn I planted is the one that grows the fastest. And the second row was the next one, and the third row was the next one. So I'd have them staggered. But I'll have 6 grow bags of potatoes. So 6 big hills. Is it enough to feed us the whole winter? No, we do eat a lot of potatoes. But once again, these are add-ons. These are things that kind of stretch your preps and everything like that. I also will be setting a net down in the Mud Creek down the road and try to catch some bluegill to put in my pond. If I get them in early enough and to throw enough bread at them, by the end of the fall, I can sit there and fish out about 20 of them and have a nice little fish fry. Proper Cowboy, good morning, good to see you. All right, got 2 of my moderators in. I was on Proper Nation this morning, and it seemed like we had some bots or some, I don't know, Bitter Critter was calling them out. Where they keep saying the same thing over and over. I know the stream, I think last Monday, we had one on here that Harvey Black kind of busted right away. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, there were some bots on there. You know your message is getting out when you have bots show up. Remember, I popped on a Ben Shapiro's one time, and oh my God. I finally put a comment at Ben, you need to get some moderators. The bots had taken over the entire chat. It was terrible. And then I noticed he must have made some adjustments because a week later he wasn't having that issue. Yeah, Miss Warren, I think it was the one that he kind of made a comment that was kind of insulting. I said, oh, well, everybody's got their opinion on that. And Harvey went to his page and, he had no videos. He had no subscribers. Basically, it was a blank page. So he called him out for a troll. And then he kind of politely said goodbye to everybody and went out. So no harm, no foul. I don't think his he didn't get the reaction he was wanting. I tell baby he called me everything but late for dinner. So I got green pepper. I bought last week. I bought some of these this week, and I realized I still had one in there. Now I cannot wait until these will be coming from the garden, because they are much, much, much better fresh from the garden. The one store, and it's a big store, they advertise that they get them from local growers. Well, ain't none of that stuff growing here right now, so it ain't local. Remember my sponsor, Lucky O'Day on Cutco Knives. Awesome, awesome knife. Well worth the money I paid. The link's in the description somewhere buried down there. And I'd appreciate it if you go and you give him a hello. There we go. So the veggies have a lot of vitamin K, vitamin C in them, potassium, some electrolytes that you need. So definitely not much on the calorie side, but on the essential minerals and vitamins, very heavy on that. Plus it's good for your digestive system. It's a nice clean source of carbs. So obviously keto diet, you're not doing a lot of veggies. What I'm missing here. I roasted a chicken yesterday. I cut up into a bowl of cabbage soup. I'll cook it up. So everybody must have been thinking about chicken. I came home from work and the wife had cooked the whole chicken in the crock pot along with the rice. So I had chicken and rice. And of course, it was in the crock pot. The time I got home for over 8 hours. Oh, was it good. So I had a big helping of that and a helping of cottage cheese. And I took a bunch of vitamin C and zinc. Talked to my daughter out in Montana on the video chat, which was very enjoyable. And then I took more vitamin C and zinc and went to bed. And basically every time I got up, because at this age, I find lots of reasons I have to get up, usually use the bathroom. I would take more vitamin C and zinc. So the whole idea was to, I pulled the bacon out, let it dry on the napkin. I used the bacon grease to saute the veggies. So there I got green pepper. And I got what's left of my purple onion. Full pig in the China box for Memorial Day weekend. Oh man, that does sound good. Oh, so the hubby doesn't like vegetables, so make other dinners for him. I just use the meats to add to my soup. Okay. Me, I'm pretty much a true omnivore. I like them all. I mean, are there some veggies that I'm not a fan of? Yeah. But for the most part, there we go. There's not much food I don't like. Although I was at a Chinese restaurant one time, and when I was a young kid, my mom wanted me to try this lychee fruit. And about the size of a grape. And it didn't pass the nose test. So my mom was one of those parents that didn't take no for an answer. She had me eat it anyway. And then I went to the bathroom and got rid of my meal. Steve Lyons, good morning. Too many to mention individually. That's okay. That's unusual here, but I take it. 10 thumbs up. 10 people wonder. I appreciate it. I like everybody stopping in here. I do appreciate you visiting. So I got the green peppers and the purple onion in there. I'll let that saute for a little bit before I add the corned beef hash in. And then when it's all done, I'll throw an egg on top of it. And usually I like to use A1 steak sauce. And call that a delicious dinner. So here, let's put the rest of the pepper away. So I'm gonna try to have a green pepper every day. I might even chop the rest of this up. I got some carrots, I still got some celery. And put that in a container, take it to work. So at least my sinuses have slowed down a little bit. Which is a good thing. So you always check the can when you open it up. Make sure there's no discoloration or it doesn't smell bad. The old adage is when in doubt, throw it out. Pig, not pit. There we go. Old pig, either way, is a very big cooker or a hole in the dug ground. We did that in the Army. We sit there and we burn hardwoods for about 4 hours. And then we covered it up a little bit, then threw a boar in there and then covered the boar up. Then 8 hours later, we dug it back up. It was good. We found ways to improvise when you were in the service. Make sure you kept fed. So even though they gave you food, they didn't give you enough of it. So they wanted to keep us lean, mean, and green. 5 feet under the ground, literally a box of little litter box wrapped in pig and banana leaves over our coat. We got banana leaves, heard that. Yeah, that's gonna be good. The one thing I do like is food, so no benching for me today, although I might do some other easier exercises just to keep the blood moving. So anybody who's watching my training video, my client, we're doing a lot of exercises. So here's what you can do for your shoulder and tricep. So those are your main muscles you're using. And you want to use a weight that's comfortable for you. Currently, this is a 30-pounder, which is a pretty usable weight for me. Then you just switch over to the other side and try not to take the light out. And the whole idea is dumbbells also utilize a lot of your smaller exercise muscles for balance. So that's how dumbbells are different than a straight bar. So I figured I'd do that to kind of keep the chat rolling. Yeah, so I can touch the ceiling. to do that to mess with the kids. I'd stretch and go, oh, I'm like, get that fair. Then they got taller. Basically, I stir the vegetables up there and let them get nice and cooked. And then I will add the corned beef hash in and get it nice and warmed up. Good times. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, you want to check your ceiling height, especially when you're doing overhead presses. Actually, I had the light right here, which I got really close to. So I didn't want to do that. Now, the reason I don't have that on, because it glares. I actually have a cheap light in the background shining over here for the light. Got binks on my chair, getting all comfy. Sun shining, veggies are growing. It's good times. So let me see. So usually I cook on a low medium heat. If you cook on a higher heat, you stand the chance of burning your grease, and it doesn't taste as well. Now, when you're searing things, that's a whole different story. Then you do want a high heat. So I got 10 thumbs up. Appreciate it. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do. We're talking about summertime colds. So I'll be taking a lot of zinc today and a lot of vitamin C. I'll also be taking my multivitamin and some of the other vitamins, but these are the two that really knock a cold out. You know, when you buy that, cold medicine and stuff like that, it's supposed to shorten the cold. Basically, what you're doing is you're taking large doses of C and zinc. So instead of spending $18 for, 10 doses, here's $18 for 400 doses. So much better way of doing it. Lemon juice and ginger and hot water is good for colds too. I wonder if I have any ginger. So I went through and cleaned out my spice cabinet. And holy crap, did I have? I got ground ginger. Is that the same thing? I got ground ginger. I don't have lemon juice, I don't think. But I have lime, which I think it'll do similar things. You put the lime in the coconut. Mix it all together. So let's test the theory here. I hope this worm's not trying to poison you. So a little dash of lemon juice or lime juice. A little thing of ginger. Let it dissolve and see what happens. I'll put it to the test. Welcome back, Body Beatdown. All right, off the bike now. Hope everybody's good today. Well, I've been better. But I feel about as well as I thought I was going to feel in the morning. I can tell I was fighting a little bit of a fever last night. But I think megadose and everything has really helped. All right, so here comes in the hash. All right. So let's look at the nutrition. If I can read it without my cheaters. half a lemon and a couple slices of root ginger. Yeah, that's not quite the way I did it. All right, so protein, 16 grams. And it's 2 servings, so it's 32 grams of protein. It's a little bit of calcium, not much. 10% of your iron. They got 10% of the iron that you need. Now the veggies I'm cooking will add to the vitamin C and potassium, vitamin K. And then the egg will also add to it. And a splash of black pepper. And then just allow it to heat up. And I usually like to spice it up with A1 steak sauce. Remember, it's not for steaks. If you put this on a steak, you either cook the steak wrong or you bought a very bad steak. Well, they're all done. Maybe it doesn't taste bad. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad taste. Probably not the way that I was supposed to make it, but it's not a bad taste at all. A proper honey for a sore throat. There we go. I do add a lot of honey. First of all, it's a really good source of natural sugars. And if you buy the unfiltered raw honey, it will last forever. So I got my green egg. Now all I need is my green ham. And eggshells and coffee grounds and vegetable peels all go in the food bucket, and I throw that back out in the garden. It's good for you. While I'm at it, I'll take a multivitamin. It's kind of your catch-all. Now during this time of the year, I really don't take the vitamin D anymore because I'll be outside and my body will produce all the vitamin D I need. It's actually not too bad. It's kind of a drink I can get used to. So, another thing on your lifting, you can do what's called a hammer. It's basically just like a hammer. This will provide exercise for the wrist, the bicep, and the shoulder. Once again, do a weight you're comfortable with. You can do these in 2, and then you can kind of counterbalance with them. But sometimes I like to do it with just one hand because then it causes me to have to utilize other muscles to keep my balance too. Just trying to make it a little bit more enjoyable. That's all we got for it. So I got everything warming up. And basically all you're doing is you're not cooking the corned beef hash in the can that's already been cooked. You're just heating it up. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just tear the bacon bits in there. Add to the flavor. With about another 3 grams of protein in the bacon I've cooked up. So I'm going to get plenty of protein in this meal. And breakfast usually is, if you're having meats and eggs. Usually when you're heavier protein meals along with dinner. And because I'm trying to get about 200 grams of protein a day, I have to eat about 5 times a day. So I'll have breakfast, I'll have lunch before I go to work, and then I will take 3 meals with me to work. And I'll get my 5, and then if Mama has stuff for me when I get home, I'll have a dinner. Who would buy Chinese honey? I buy local honey. The local honey is because not in a piece of string. There you go, but there's that knot. The local honey is being used by the plants that are in your area, and it's supposed to help you deal with allergies. So I always try to buy local honey when I can. Oh no, I didn't know that. And that's probably something I'm going to do when I retire, is probably raise my own bees. I got a buddy who's getting all set for that. He bought a beehive at a yard sale for like $5. And he's got everything going. He's got chickens and ducks. And now he wants to get bees and garden and all that other stuff. Really got to read the label, see what you're getting. So this is a store brand one which I bought. So who knows? Now this is filtered, so this one has to be used sooner. This is in Sioux City, Iowa. Sioux City. My buddy and I went hunting out there, and the guy who was running the club was very proud of Sioux City. And he kept stating things that happened in time that happened in Sioux City, Iowa. And we kind of, my sarcasm or smartass was strong that day. And he goes, you know where the cattle yards were from? Well, I knew they were from Chicago. But Sioux City, Iowa? He's like, no, Chicago. And my other buddy's laughing. He thought that was funny. The only problem with buying local, and this is what I've discovered just by dealing with some of the local farmers. There was no man who was selling veggies at his place. And then he would go on Saturdays to where they'd have all the farmer market. And if he was missing something, he would actually go to the store and buy them and then mark them up and sell them as fresh produce. And I didn't like that too much. Didn't say anything because he was buying my produce and reselling them. At that time, I didn't have the time or effort to be taking it to the market because I worked on Saturdays. But, you know, the store was selling melons for $1 each. He bought 10 of them and he sold them for $3 each. But people were thinking they were getting farm fresh and they weren't. So you got to kind of be looking at what they're selling and is it in season. You know, if they're selling melons and it's July, well, they got them from the store because no melon is going to be ready here in July. They haven't had enough time. Not in this area. Melons ripen up in late August, early September. So, cucumbers, yes. Of course, cucumbers are hard to sell because they're so easy to grow. Everybody has them. All right. So, once I get the hash nice and warm, I just drop an egg in the middle. Throw some more magic Scottish spices on it. Brown pepper. Then I kind of let it cook. And I'll be ready to eat. So to work out the bicep again, well, now we're gonna, there we go. We're gonna do it the traditional way. We have the hand like that. So this is gonna concentrate it more into the bicep and take some of it off the shoulder. And I usually recommend doing these along with the hammers. And then usually about 3 sets of each exercise is sufficient to get the results you want. More is better, but then there's a point of redundancy. So that's your standard curl. You also get in a seated position and kind of lock it in your arm and do it that way. And now remove more of your shoulder out of the exercise. Yeah, you can just assume. Sometimes you are making an assumption. Usually if you go to the farm itself, it's a much safer assumption. We had a place that sold sweet corn. Oh, it's the best sweet corn. But they'd have, you go to the farm and buy it, and then they had 3 different stands in the nearby towns. Unfortunately, it's 10 ounces a pint-sized jar. I believe a pint is 16 ounces. A cup is 8. 2 cups equals a pint. And I think 2 pints equal a quart. 2 quarts equal a gallon or a half gallon. And 2 half gallons equal a gallon. Tell you what. $16 ounces. Use ye old Google. So 16 ounces is a pint. $340 grams. Wouldn't grams be a weight and not a volume? You know, I guess milligrams, grams. I guess it could be. No, milliliters. It actually wasn't too bad. It wasn't a bad drink at all. That ginger gives a nice flavor to it. So I'll have to buy some. Yeah, honey containers usually are 16 ounces or a pint jar or bigger. And that's another way. If they're in a regular canning jar, they're probably locally grown or harvested, I would say. Well, I'm at 44 minutes. All right. Most of the yards are in grams. It's odd because grams is a weight, and a weight will determine on the density of the material. Unless it's just based on what water weighs. It's interesting. Starting at $5. Yeah, $5 for the little one. There's a guy at down in Utica. He sells, and we usually buy a jar a year from him. I have about 10 larger jars of unfiltered honey in storage because it lasts forever. And they have won the battle of the bees so far. I had to go out and buy a lot more wasp killer. I was getting these big carpenter bees, which will eat up your wood. So I've been blasting them and blasting all the wood. So if they chew on the wood, well, they're going to have a bad You're going to get bad tummy ache. So I'm feeling better than I thought I was today. I think I will go out in the garden and see if the rototiller will start. I cleaned out the spark plug, but I'm going to buy a new one. And I really think I'm going to have to buy a new rebuild kit for the car. All righty. So it's time to scoop and serve. Ooh. Then we put our magical flavoring on. I don't need a lot. Just enough to add a little zing to it. And there's our presentation. Yuck. And there's our presentation. Corned beef hash, onions, green pepper, and 1 egg for a delicious, nutritious, scrumptious breakfast. And of course, Fairlife Milk, my sponsor who isn't. So I got about 40 grams of protein in there. Here's another 20 easy. So 60 grams, a little heavy. If I don't finish it all, I'll put it in a container. So I like corned beef and roast beef hash. I like both of them. Hey, Christopher. All right, welcome. So I'll let it settle a little bit. Ooh. Then I will take vitamins with food or without food. One of those people that can just take it direct. I got a pretty strong stomach. I'm attacking my summer cold vigorously. Usually I won't take this much zinc, but during a cold I will. So then back to the dumbbell exercise. I'll do this one seated. Brown sauce, HP or Deities. I don't think so. Chipotle sauce. Yeah. I don't have a pity about chipotle sauce. I don't think I've had enough of it. I like A1. I like what I like. I have picked up some other ones too from time to time. See if I still have them in here. I mean, Worcestershire sauce to cook in. Here's one. This one ain't bad. Country Bob's. So every now and then, if they're really on sale, I'll pick one up and test it. All right, so here's another one you can do. It's called an overhead tricep extension. And it's also going to work the shoulders. Basically, anything you're doing with your arms is also going to have a benefit for the shoulders. And once again, you're working a lot of smaller muscles that you wouldn't be working if you were using a straight bar or even a machine. Well, who doesn't love bacon? Yeah, Worcestershire sauce different. I'm sure they do. Mark Harris, welcome. Thanks for joining in. I got 12 thumbs up. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do. I'd appreciate it. And that works your triceps and your shoulders. Shoulders are going to have a lot to do with moving bigger weights. Hello, Yankee Yankee. Oh, I pronounced that right. Never heard an American pronounce it correctly yet. Oh, is it Worcestershire or Worcestershire sauce? Mm-mm. Good stuff. There we go. He had a hard time. How old is he? I swear I'm 17, but if I did such a training, I'm dying. I'm 61. Worcestershire woes to the rhyme with puss. They do. Sometimes you gotta work the small muscles. I mean, that's another one. If you're working the wrist, sometimes it's doing this. You know, when I see people always using wraps to lift, I'm confused. Because unless you're a bodybuilder and you're really trying to isolate that muscle, I can understand it. But the way I like it is I want to be able to hang on to the weight I'm lifting. So I don't use any wrist wraps. Not saying it's bad if you do, and if you have an injury, sometimes you have to do that. But I'm usually of the school, if you need an accessory to lift the weight, then don't lift that weight, use less weight. Boxing workouts. I don't really do them boxing that much. I'm more of a wrestler. The type of person who likes to get in close. But I'll do it from time to time. If sometimes I'm in the gym and one of my buddies are doing it, I'll join them. Because of the arthritis, mostly if I don't use them. So that would be a reason to use them. Arthritis or less weight. But body beat down and you're like me, we don't like to do less weights. We like to do PRs. Nothing wrong with that either. So tomorrow's live stream will probably be from the gym. And it'll be bench. Which is probably good because I benched on Friday. Usually it's a Monday, Thursday I do, but I can always change it up. Bent bar, no chalk, yeah. So I haven't used wrist wraps in decades. I used to. You know, then I started thinking about, was it necessary that I did shrugs with, 600 pounds? Or was 315 plenty? And then one guy was using them to do pull-ups. I was like, really? He goes, well, it helped me keep a grip. And then I did pull-ups with 2 fingers each. He was my age, so I felt it was okay to give him a hard time. Sometimes I think we do it because we've seen somebody else in the gym do it. I tried gloves one time, and I didn't like them. I didn't feel like, how long have I been training? Over 45 years. Your English is fine. Me pronouncing your name may not be so, But Khaled Ali, hopefully I got that right. But I've been training for over 45 years. I compete in powerlifting. And I'm permical. How have you stayed motivated to keep training? Good question. That is probably half the battle, especially when I recover from an injury, or if I'm had to take time off, like during the pandemic when the gyms were closed. Even though I have a gym downstairs, when I finally went back to the gym, I was only benching 315, and you really have to keep yourself motivated. I'm an Arab. That's why it's hard. From Dubai. My daughter actually visited Dubai when she was in the Navy, when she was on the Nimitz. It's a wonderful, beautiful place. It's nap time. All right, Michael, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. So, staying motivated, it is excellent. So, first of all, if I walk in the gym, I will lift. So even on days that I feel bad, when I was at work, I used to work out during lunch. I'd still walk in, and then I'd be happy I did. If I didn't, then I'd be pissed. Straps were helpful for the 3 sets of shrugs for 20. 425 and 445 conventional and sumo. Great job. No gear. Yeah. I don't understand how the gear helps in that one. I see people that have that bodysuit. I don't know how it helps. I mean, I guess it does. That's not sure. AJP Buck, there you are. Thanks for hopping in. Never hit the thumbs up, everybody. But yeah, staying motivated is a big thing. And there's many times that I had to have that heart to heart with myself. But I'll have people go, at your age, you could just be benching 225 and people would be, amazed. I said, yeah, everybody except for one person, and that would be me. So I'm always pushing myself. Will there be an age where I won't be able to do the over 400 pounds? I'm sure, eventually it'll catch up with me, but it's not going to be this year. And that's the conversation I have. It's not going to be this year. So even currently, I'm not throwing over 400 pounds. I'm working back towards it. And I feel comfortable by mid-June, I'll have it. When I diet, weigh 165 at the moment. That's pretty light, Christopher. How tall are you? I'm down to 235. It's pretty late for me. My wife was asking, why did I feel necessary to lose weight? I said, well, at 265, I was too heavy. 5'6.5". So that's a good weight, especially if you're exercising. I know those charts probably want you to weigh about 80 pounds, but I ignore those charts. Yeah, only 3'6". Reminds me, I used to shop for clothes, person working in the store will go to the big and tall shop. I said, you don't have a big and tall shop. Well, yeah, it's right there. I said, no, that's a short and extremely fat. What do you mean? 60 waist, 28 inseam. 50 waist, 28 inseam. 60 waist, 29-inch inseam. It's not big and tall. It's a short, fat guy. I need a 38 waist with a 34 inseam. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, that's really hard to find. No kidding. Well, I was up to a 40 waist, and that was bothering me. So I am back down to a 38, although I'm not throwing away my 40s. Another exercise you can do to help you out is basically, see if I get back here far enough, is just these. I call them the high holes. High ho, high ho. That's off the work. You go. And you try to keep from doing the swing, because then you're just utilizing your shoulder. And basically, it's another curl, but it's a side curl. And it's going to attack both the bicep and the wrist from a different direction. $220 with my legs on. There we go. I remember the days of 36, 24, 36. I remember having a 28-inch waist as a child. But not too bad. If I have to, I can suck it in. Good morning. So the missus had someone from Dubai in. How many miles can you run? Good question. I used to be a distance runner back in high school. I could run all day. Now I'm a power lifter. I don't run. The joke is, there's nothing I have to run from. But I do go hikes. Because whether you run it or walk it, you burn the same amount of calories. All right, speed over time. So whether I run a mile or if I walk a mile, same amount of calories are burnt. So I usually go for about a 3 to 4 mile hike 3 times a week. I probably walk just at work between the parking lot and my workstation and walking around. I probably walk about 2 miles a day just doing that. Doing chores around the house, going out to the garden and carrying water in the pond and all that. I'll do about 2 miles. So I'm getting a lot of walking, but I really don't do any running anymore. Yep, lift heavy to get strong. Yeah, I know that is, Randy. I used to be 6'4". I think I'm 6'3" now. It's the gravity of the situation. Oh, that's so good. But I can tell I feel much better than I did last night. And usually it's the morning when I feel the worst. There we go. So I take it you have prosthetics. I think I used that word right. If I didn't, apologies, but that's what I'd get from that. I consider myself very fortunate for the most part, because I have my help. Hey, my hips are fine. My knees are fine. Shoulders, arms, ankles. I have friends that still do a ruck march, 130-pound pack, 8 miles 3 times a week. That's awesome. I'll throw on a ruck to go back in the woods, but I only got about 10 pounds in there. I remember those days where I had 90 pounds on, if not more, if I was carrying that PRC 77. And we'd go on anywhere from 20 to 30 kilometer hikes. Okay, I'm 5'7". So I got two daughters. Youngest is about 5'7", 5'8". The other one's probably around 5'10", 5'11". So that's a good height for a woman. Claim that extra half inch. Remember, round up, not round down. So I've been in chat for an hour. I said, well, let's see if I can get the rotiller to start. It's always a 50-50. If I do, I'll do some rototilling. I think the ground's dried up enough where I could probably do that. I use protein powder sometimes, not often. I really don't buy it because it's always being given to me. So here's a premium whey blend, and I'll mix one up maybe once a week, every now and then. Usually I try to get my protein through food, but when you can't, this is a good thing. So I'll mix up one for this for after my workout. So I'm at the gym and I finish working out, I'll chug it right away. And then time I get home, I'll eat a meal. There we go. Gotta go get dressed and be productive for the rest of the day. Yeah, I gotta work today, but no overtime today. It's only an 8-hour day. So to me, it's a short shift. Getting some humor going on here. Well, I got 14 thumbs up. If you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do it. Appreciate it. What do I think of young people using hormones to become strong? Well, when you mean young, if they're under 18, I would say no, they shouldn't be using them. Once you become of adult age, then you can make adult decisions. I don't use them because I don't feel I'm not going to assume the risk, number one, and I'm not going to spend enough money, number two. And number three, I'm stronger than I ever thought I'd be. So I don't feel the necessity for them. I know people who do, for whatever various reasons. I had a young man when I say young, he was only in his 30s. He said, well, I'm going to start on, the TRT, and he asked my experiences with it. I said, I have no experience with it. I don't take it. I had a friend that was put on it by a doctor because of a medical issue that he had. And yeah, he said it was the greatest thing since sliced bread for about 6 months, and then it wore off. So I always feel that trying to do things a natural way, there are natural things you can do to help things out. So here's a natural amino, arginine, which I take. Remember, at night, I'll take before a workout, and this will help release some of your natural ability to make hormones. But I think anytime you start messing with Mother Nature, bad things can happen. Too many bodybuilders are dying in their 40s. That's all I got to say. Somebody that looks that healthy and dies. Not that there aren't people in their 40s always dying, because there is. But and like I said, with the hormones, that you still have to put the work in. You still have to work out. You still have to eat. You still have to get the rest. So it's not like they're just taking a magic pill or a magic shot and all of a sudden they're bigger. They still have to put the work in. So I guess is what your goals are. Personally, I don't care either one way or another, whether you use them or not. I would just hope that you do them under the advice of a doctor and not some online service. I get I haven't been lately, probably because I'm not really doing Facebook that much anymore. But on Facebook, about once every other day, I get somebody wanting to friend request me, and I go to this page, and there's the pharmacy, and they say, "Well, hey, I'm a blah 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 blah, and I can supply all your gear and that." I said, "I don't take it." He goes, "Well, I also supply regular stuff." I said, "I get that from a regular guy, but thank you very much." So, and I'll be honest with you, if I was going to do something like that, it would not be from some guy online. You got to be nuts. You have no idea what you're getting. That's just like, well, I don't want to just using a product. Here's MacBean Scottish Fitness Pro, or a special blend, stuff I bought from the store, that I've remarked up and charge you more for. I don't do that. Yeah, I get a lot of TRT ads up. I'm starting to see that. And it's probably because they keyed in because of our age. And it's just not for me. Now, if it gets to a point where for a medical issue, a doctor says I need to take it, then I will come back to it. For right now, I don't think it's something I necessarily need to do. But if you are someone who does that, hey, you're an adult. I just hope that you monitor it well with your doctor and make sure that they're checking your blood test on your kidneys. Yeah, some people use steroids. Absolutely. I know a lot of people in the gym that do. And if you want to compete in bodybuilding, you have to. Otherwise, you don't stand a chance. And that's just the way that sport is. Yeah, I don't think you should use it when you're young. Your body is blasted full of hormones as it is. Ooh, battery low. Consider plugging in your device. Battery saver is on. I didn't want to get me a plug. Hang on a second. I was wondering if it was going to last the hour or not. So I had to unplug the light so I can re-plug in my computer. There we go. Now I won't have to worry about it. Are you the crazy old guy that bench 475? Yes, that's me. And I'll be doing that again this year. I'm just on a recovery stage. Actually, I want to get up to 485. Can you compete in tournaments and powerlifting while using hormones? You can. There are some federations that do not test, or there are federations that have a separate category for it. So last year, I competed in a UPA, and I competed both in the tested and non-tested. And I broke both national records. So I hold a record in both tested and non-tested. Obviously, I was tested, but I knew I could break both records. I'm currently tied for 5th all time in raw bench, 60 to 64 years old, 275 pounds, or 125 kilos. Now that I've dropped down to under 110 kilos, or 242 pounds, I'm going to go over that. Yeah, I do have, besides the gray, I do have, as what Miss Worm said, a fetching blue. Here's the fetching blue. And these are high quality, 90% cotton. So they're next level t-shirts, and they're probably the top of the quality on t-shirts. I figure if I was going to have my name on there, I'd have it on a good shirt. Drug tested don't mean drug free. Yeah, you can go on what's called a cycle and then be off it for 3 months and still compete. But I don't care. I enjoy beating them. You know, knowing that they do use and I don't, and I still live more. As you get older, it's a little bit more obvious if an older man's on steroids. All right, because I have a regular belly. I can suck it in, but I'll see the ones where they got the 6-pack, they got that almost that claymation skin, and I know they're on it. No black t-shirts, not in the Scottish Fitness. Maybe that's next. That'd be cool. All I gotta do is tell my person to switch it over. I did the blue because I had somebody ask for it. And the Scottish flag has got blue. I haven't done a black one yet. Oh yeah. It never looked right, yeah. Looks like somebody punched him in the mouth. I guess when you're used to being a movie star, which I never was, or will be, I guess it kind of gets important. But sometimes I can, yeah, sometimes you can tell that they took some bad advice. You know, hi everybody. I have one of my coworkers years and years ago. She goes, yeah, I just had, surgery. I said, well, your boobs look the same size. She goes, no, I had a facelift. I said, what was wrong with your face before? And she goes, well, can't you tell? I said, not really can. I said, I didn't think anything was wrong with it before. So I really can't tell any difference. And about a year later, she went and got that boob job. Then I could tell. But I was like, you want to make the skin look better? Cut open a couple of these vitamin E's. You can rub it directly on the skin. And it'll do wonders for you. I do that maybe twice a week before I go to bed. And it's very healthy for keeping healthy skin. And vitamin E is one of the very few vitamins that can be absorbed through the skin. And vitamin D can be produced in sunlight through the skin. I earned every one of my wrinkles in their stand. There you go. I'm keeping my laugh lines or crow feet, whatever you want to call it. I've seen some look toward their jaw. Yep, I've seen that. I don't want to hurt my jaw. It's how I eat. Well, it looks like I got a good crowd in here. Thanks for coming in. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Only if you want my jaw is my most exercised muscle, I must admit. I think that's true with everybody. So, hello everybody, and thanks for stopping in. Trying to see if I can remember this. Or if you do ever want to order any of these shirts, just email me at scottishfitness@gmail.com. They're high quality cotton shirts, $30 for the shirt, and depending on where I'm shipping to, I have been able to ship to overseas. I just ship it as a oversized envelope with no tracking, and then it's about half the cost. And thank you. Only if you want it. Well, thank you for joining in. Yeah, lifting with their jaw. I've seen that. I've seen some other ones that have done some silly lifts in that. There's another one, I think it's JT Stroger or whatever. He does some weird stuff, and some people were yelling at him for doing it. And I'm like, really? Let the guy do what he wants to do. Have fun with it. I'll do the exercises to have fun, and do those little dances with the barbells and that. It's still exercise. Time for some antioxidants. Then I'll see if I can start the rolling tiller. Now that's warmed up, makes us kept the deck nice and guarded. So I appreciate everybody popping in. Everyone have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy. Remember, rest, nutrition, and proper form is the key. 30 minutes a day, 3 days a week will make you healthier. A little more and a little more often will make it a little better. So thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody joining in. Appreciate all the thumbs up. Cheers and have a wonderful, wonderful day.